Hi folks, Nella here, and now I'm remembering why I was not planning on making any videos while I was on vacation. I've been interrupted so many times now, and it's quite different because that doesn't really happen at my house unless I'm interrupted by the cats. But I tend not to be interrupted by people, but here I have it a lot. That isn't what this video is about. This video, well, I kind of need to start it in a different way. I'm going to show you 3 objects, and then I'm going to tell you the significance of those objects. So, object number 1, a notebook that says Mega Babe on the front, and on the back it says blah 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 in cursive, and there are bows on the inside. And there's also, can't see it, but there's 2 pockets, so you can put photos or receipts or drawings in there. That's object number 1, the notebook. Object number 2, these things. And these things are, I don't know if you can read, probably can't read that, it says cotton candy, because these are scented pencils. These ones all, the 5 that I got, all smell of candies. Quite strongly, actually. And the pencils themselves are made of recycled newspapers, of all things. Object number 1, the notebook. Object number 2, scented pencils. And object number 3 is a set of postcards, which I'll open up to a random page so you can see what some of the postcards look like. So you're probably wondering by now, what on earth can possibly link those 3 things together? And the thing that does is the beginning of a new character. I know, so many characters. I'm constantly coming up with characters because, I don't know, because everything makes me think of creating things. Or something like that. So, this happened while I was out exploring for my last day in the capital, and the seed of an idea started to develop. It started to bud and to sprout. Sprout, then bud. It's still in the sprouting process, actually. But it's there. It's germinating. And it all started with a building. And that building was a simple 4-story brick building. Bottom level was a bookstore, a librairie, because there's all French books. And then the 3 floors above that are, as advertised by the sign outside, apartments. And by the time, and I kind of went, oh, that's kind of cool, I'll keep that in the back of my mind, a bookstore and then there's apartments. Well, it didn't stay in the back of my mind. By the time I was on the bus to get back and to get to packing, I already had the beginning of an idea. And yes, it involves a bookstore and the apartments about the bookstore. But also involves a girl and a ghost. I shouldn't say a ghost. Ghost, all in caps, who is one of my already existing characters. So, let me set the stage. There's a little bookstore in a brick building, and it's sandwiched between a juice bar, fresh juice bar, and a cafe. And there are multiple floors of apartments that are on top of the bookstore. And there is a girl who works in the bookstore who, and I don't know what her name is yet, and I don't know how old she is, and I don't know anything about her family. All I know is she insists that she cannot possibly be the main character of any story, because she wouldn't make a good main character. She's plain, has some interests, but she's definitely not the most exciting person ever. And main characters should be very exciting and very important. So she sees herself as the supporting character in not only the life stories of those around her, but also in her own. Because you can't be a main character in one story, you can't be a main character in any stories. Of course, that's how she sees it. I have the inkling that things are going to change for her very soon. And this is how things change. One day, when she's working in the bookstore, and she's sipping bubble tea from, just on the other side of the bookstore. I should actually say, there's the bookstore, and the juice bar, and there's the cafe, and just around the corner is a noodle house that also sells bubble tea. So she's drinking her bubble tea and chewing the tapioca balls, and flipping through her postcards, trying to decide whether she should send one off or not, or she should just keep them and make a collage for her apartment that is above the bookstore. And she's writing with one of her scented pencils in her notebook when the bell rings. Someone's entered the bookstore, so she looks up to see if it's saying the frequent customers that she knows, and it's not. It is someone completely ethereal, and this girl, the bookshop employee, is utterly bewitched and mesmerized by the sight of the stranger. And that stranger is Ghost. And Ghost is odd looking. She moves, I shouldn't say she, Ghost, well, they move very disjointedly. Disjointedly, kind of jerky movements. Really long legs, really long arms, really short torso, weird proportions, giant eyes, extremely long pointed ears, white hair, a scarf on, or something covering their mouth at all times. And instead of seeing all of these strange things, the strange movement, or the odd proportions, or the ears, or even the scarf in the middle of summer, the bookshop employee doesn't care about any of that. For her, she's just seen something extraordinary. And I don't know what happens after that. I do not know. I don't know yet. I'm hoping that on the plane ride tomorrow that I will be able to come up with something, because I have the beginning of something. But I don't know what it is yet. I don't know. Though I have the singular impression that the bookshop employee has been to Miss Emily's, and I don't know why. And I'm going to end it with one last little postcard. This is so wonderful. There we go. So yes, that is the beginning of the idea, and I'm hoping that it'll continue germinating overnight, and that when I wake up, it will have bloomed into something. What that something is, I have no idea. Okay, bye everyone.